All right, so you can see my screen, and I want to welcome you guys to automate your follow-ups, your email campaigns. We're going to build an email campaign and an automated follow-up campaign. I've built this entire platform off of another platform called Go High Level. This is the Kingdom Influence Group platform. It's designed specifically for ministry and kingdom business, is what I like to call it. But this is going to be a practical training session on capturing leads, organizing your contacts, and automating your next steps. And I want to highlight that this is applicable for both ministry as well as business. So if you're in ministry or if you're an entrepreneur or both, this is going to help you with both of it. Okay. So we're going to look at building an email campaign and a follow-up campaign. So today, what we're going to build is we're going to build an entire workflow with automation. We'll just call it a free class registration automation. Okay, that's what we'll call it today. A free class registration automation. So we're going to build the follow-up flow from registration all the way to the welcome email and all of the next steps. So what it looks like is number one, a registration form. We're going to get into more detail on this, but a registration form so that your those that are interested can let you know. A confirmation that they're in. We're going to talk about tags. We're going to tag every contact and store the contact with that information. We're going to create a workflow for follow-up, and we're going to create the email sequence. All right. So what's the result of all of this? It's more time to focus on your teaching and less time on manual follow-ups because it is manual labor. Okay. When you're doing your follow-ups, it's manual. You got to get in there, open up your email, write an email, send it to 50 people or whoever you're sending it to. And it's all manual. We're going to learn how to automate that today. In addition to that, leads come in and follow-ups get delayed. All right. So when you're doing this manually, the biggest problem is that your leads will come in. And when I say leads, that sounds like a very business type of term, which it is. But it could be someone coming to register for VBS. It could be someone registering for a Bible study, right? These are people that are interested in what you're offering. We call them leads. They come in, but your follow-up gets delayed. Opportunities grow cold. So without automation, good intentions often turn into missed connections and lost momentum. So you can see the funnel is where the leads come in. We call that a funnel. If there's a delayed response, the opportunities grow cold and sometimes they move on or they forget about it. Okay. And they've lost interest. So we don't want that to happen. So what we're building is an automation map. All right. So it starts with the form, then it goes into turn it into a contact, then it goes into organization with tags, then it goes into a workflow, then it goes into emails and the follow-ups. Okay. So it's a simple path that turns interest into organized, consistent communication. And that's what we're looking for. Okay. So your first step, and before we build all this, I just want to give you the foundation of what we're doing today. Okay. So the first step is to build the form. It might look something like this. Now, if I think everybody on this call has seen one of my forms before in some form or fashion, but basically, you only want to collect the information that you need. Don't try to learn everything you can about somebody in the first form. You want to just connect with them and collect only the information that you need. In fact, this sample form that I've given you today might even be too much. You can see that phone we've made optional. Okay. Really, all you need is their name and their email address. Okay. And then what are you interested in? That might be an extra. You don't have to put that. We want it to be as simple as possible and only the information you need to get them rolling. Okay. So that's step one, building the form. And we're going to do that together. Step two is sharing the form. Okay. You might build this really cool form, but how do people get it? You can share these forms, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. You can share them on a website. You can create a QR code. So the image, they can just scan that image with their phone, a QR code, and opens the form on their phone. You can give them a direct link to the form. So it opens up just like you would any other web page. You can share the link on social media. So they click it on social media, and it opens up the form. And you can email the form. You can just send the form via email to your contacts and say, click this, opens up the form. They fill it out if they're interested, and now you've got the form. So there are a variety of ways that you can share the form, and we're going to go over those ways once we've made that form. But we want to make it as easy as possible for people to respond whenever and wherever they are already interested. Okay. So that's step two. Step three is create the update or
Come
the
here,
contact.
Legacy.
Create the update
Where's
or
your
the
tablet?
contact. So every submission should create a clean contact record. All right. Every submission. And your CRM becomes the memory of your relationship with that contact. And if you're like me, I have a terrible memory. I actually have to depend on this. So when I want to say, okay, who was interested in that class? Because many people wrote me on Facebook, said, oh, I can't wait to be there. I want to be there. Um, and I'm interested, right? But I'm not going to remember all of those people. I'm not going to remember everybody that said that. I'm not going to remember their names. I'm not going to remember who did it. I'm not going to remember all of that. So this is my memory. The CRM, we call it a CRM. This is my memory for me. It's going to remind me of who was interested. So we're going to create an update contact, and it's the form submission. So you can see the kind of information we're going to collect from your lead or from the person that's interested, right? So you've got their name, you've got their email address, maybe their phone number, maybe their organization. You're going to know where you got that information. So the contact's going to tell you, oh, they filled out this website form or they filled out this website form. Okay. Um, we in the notes it says interested in partnership opportunities, follow up in 3 days. So these are just notes that you can add to that contact. All right, so let's move on to step four. Step four, once they've filled that out, you're going to add a tag. This is how we organize. Scholar Smith, you've been in many of my classes. So when I pull your name up in my contact list, I can see all the tags that you have in relationship to me. It will tell me exactly what classes you've taken, what things you are interested, what devotions you signed up for, because every time you fill out those forms, it adds a tag. So if you sign up for homiletics, preach 410, then it's going to have that tag on you. And I'm going to be able to just go through my contacts, filter by tag, and I'm going to see everybody. And I can send an email to all of just those people, right? So that's the power of organization and the tags. And we want to make sure that we keep that stuff organized. So you can see on the right, you might have Jordan M, and they were tagged with a new lead because they filled out a form. Taylor S, they were tagged with class interest because they filled out a form on a class. Riley D, if you're in ministry, they might have filled out a prayer request form, right? So once they fill out that prayer request form, it automatically tags them with prayer request. And now you can filter through all your contacts and go through everybody that's ever left a prayer request. Why is this important? Because you might want to send an email, an automated email, 3 months from now that says, hi, Riley. We got your prayer request. My team was praying for you. It's been a few months. How are things going? But that's all automated, right? So you can do that with those tags. KCW needs follow up, right? That's a tag. All right, so you're going to add the tags for organization's sake. Step five, you now need to build the workflow. This is the engine where it all happens. This is where the automation decides what happens next with those people, all right, when it actually happens. So the trigger is a new lead captured by a form. Okay. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to start building here in a minute. But the new lead is captured via the form. So they fill out the form, and we're going to call that the trigger. What is the trigger? The trigger is anything that launches this workflow. So in today's example, we're going to use the form. That's going to be the trigger. When somebody fills out the form, it creates this workflow for them. All right. And step one, they automatically get a welcome email. So they fill out the form. Step one, they automatically get a welcome email from us. Step two, I want it to wait a day. I don't want it to be too pushy. I don't want it to be too aggressive. So they got the welcome email, and we're going to make them wait 1 day. After 1 day, the system is going to look to see if they open the email or if they didn't open the email. If they did open the email, then they're going to get a follow-up email with the resources that they asked for. Maybe it's a PDF, maybe it's my class notes, maybe it's a bonus or a book, an ebook, or something like that. If they open the email, then they showed that interest, they're going to get that second email. If they didn't, they're going to get a second email in 1 day because we asked it to wait 1 day. If they did not open it, then a second email would be sent to them automatically. Hey, I just wanted to make sure you caught this email, blah, blah, blah. I want to make sure you received this email. Now, we know that they didn't open it, but what we don't know is did they even get it? Now, our system will tell us if they received it or not, but maybe they didn't see it. Maybe they flew it flew right by them. I've missed many emails in my lifetime. So we're just going to send up a reminder email, and the only way they get that reminder email is if the system shows that they did not open their email. Okay? So those are your two options there. After they open their email, they're going to get that follow-up resource, and then we're going to wait 2 more days. And after the second day, we're going to apply a tag that says and follow up. Apply tag and follow up. So it just continues on with the workflow. We're going to go into that. All right. So this is just a basic workflow that I'm just using as an example. The next step is to send that welcome email. An immediate response builds trust. So a confirmation email reassures people, it delivers the details, and it sets the tone for the relationship. So some of you got an email from me because you commented interested or automation or whatever on Facebook. When that happened, it triggered an email that sent you the details that said, okay, here's the details of the email. Now, some of you are just in my class, so you might not see the Facebook post. So this was a separate automation. You received an email, and there was a button at the bottom of the email that says, I'm in. That email that I sent to everybody, all of my students, I sent this email to, right? But I don't want to bother everybody, so I made them click the button. So if they click the button that says I'm in, that is what we call a trigger. And the system knows. My system knows. They click that button. And what happened was, Scholar Jesse, you got an email immediately following that with a thanks and a congratulations, blah, 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 and the link to this Zoom. So the only way you're even here is because that automation worked. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know what the link is because I didn't send the link out. I didn't just send the link out to everybody. I had to know that they were actually genuinely interested. So the only way to know that is they had to click the button. All right. So that's how that works. Step 6. Step 7 is add reminders. Now you're going to add those automation. It's to protect the attendance, the engagement, right? So some of you got an email about an hour ago. I didn't sit down and send all those emails. It just sent it automatically. Said, hey, class starts in 1 hour. Just a reminder, can't wait to see you, right? But I also added your name personally. So it looked to you like I sent that to you specifically. And it's like, oh, Dr. Truitt really cares about me. You're right. I absolutely do. But it's impossible for me to send out 100 emails. It's at the exact same time individually. So I have to automate something, right? So that's what we did. So the next step is to send those reminders 24 hours before your class, 1 hour before your event, 15 minutes before you start. And then once that's done, the follow up. So some of you are in my classes. You'll notice that immediately following my lecture, you get an email. Do you really think I had time to actually teach that class and hang up with you and start typing all these emails out? No, it's automatic. It's already there. If you're in the class, you're going to get those emails automatically. That's what we call a follow-up, all right? So that's the next step. And then number 8, I want you to test everything. So I'm going to show you how to build this. We're going to go into that next here in just a second, and we're going to test everything, right? So don't publish your workflow until you've tested your form, tested your tags, tested your workflow, and checked your emails. Before you go live, check everything, okay? And I'll be honest, fully transparent, I've done this without testing before, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, "I never got that," and then I go and I'm like, "Well, you should have." And then I look at my workflow and it was broke. There was a step missing or something like that, or I used the wrong time, or I used the wrong date. And you guys know, some of you are students of mine. You guys know because sometimes you'll get a pre-class email for a class that's like a month away. And you're like, what? That's not this Saturday. That's a month from now. That's because I messed up my workflow somewhere. I didn't double check and test it. So you want to test in your checklist, okay? And I want to share with you some common mistakes that we can make when we're doing these kind of automations is you might have too many form fields. If you have too many form fields, it feels kind of invasive. Like you want too much information from me. Next thing I know, you're going to ask for my social security number and my credit card, and that's too much. It You're going to have more success if all you ask for is their email address and their name, and that's it. And maybe not even their last name. Just first name and email address. That's it. That's all I need, and I'm going to have you, okay? And um it feels less intrusive. It feels less threatening, um, less scammy. I just want the bare minimum, okay? If you don't send a clear thank you message, so they've gone through your form, they've gone through your process, and then they don't hear from you. That's a problem, okay? That's a common mistake, and you want to make sure you send that clear thank you message. It does a couple things. It shows appreciation and it shows them that you got their information, that they're actually getting what they asked for. Okay. Um, Tags with vague names. Sometimes I'll create a tag and I'll forget what that tag even meant. Okay. Like a bad tag is class sign up. Okay. What class? I don't even know what class, right? So it's okay to have long names in your tags. Just be specific so you can't forget what that meant, right? And I'm preaching to the choir, y'all. Okay. I've had tags where I forgot why they even were tagged that. And you got to be specific with your tags. Or you build this incredible workflow, but you forgot to turn it on. So unless you publish it and turn it on, it's not going to work. Or if your email has no next step, you got to have a next step to it. Sometimes I'll create a wait step, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You create a wait step because I'm not quite completely ready to put them in the next step because I don't know what it is or I haven't defined it yet. So I create a wait step, and that wait will be 360 days. And all it does is it keeps them in the workflow, but they're in this wait step for 360 days. Now, once I know exactly what the next steps are and I've defined it and I've created it, then I will add that to the workflow and then I will manually just push everybody down to the next step. All right, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. No test submission, you didn't actually test it, or no unsubscribe. And you have to have an unsubscribe compliance awareness. If you're in my classes, you see that in every email that you get from me. At the very bottom of the emails, you'll see an unsubscribe link or stop receiving or something like that. You have to do that. It's compliance, okay? I don't know if there's any compliance police looking at your emails, but it is something you're supposed to do. If you're sending bulk emails that are subscription based, in other words, they've subscribed or they're part of your contact list, they have to be able to get out of it, and you have to be able to. I'll show you where we make that happen, okay? So those are the common mistakes. Let me just recap real quick, and then we'll get into building. We're gonna get into building what we wanna do here. Okay, let me get out of this presentation, and let me just share this with you. Oh, let me open up one more thing here for you, and then we'll start building. That's the exciting part, is actually building it. I just closed my browser accidentally, so let me reopen that. when I'm sharing all these screens, it gets a little bit messy. Okay, there we go. All right, so just to recap real quick what we're looking at with this. Oh, can you see it yet? You see my screen right here, the automating email campaign and follow-ups. So
Yep.
just as a recap, what we're looking at is a form is submitted, we create a contact, we add a tag, we send a thank you email and a welcome email, and then we do our follow-ups. We are going to build all that here next. From a business perspective, why is this important? Number one, you get faster lead responses. I don't know how many of you own a business. I know my son does, so this would be relevant to him. When someone fills out one of his forms, he owns a coffee catering company. And if they fill out an interested form, you got to have those fast lead responses. And sometimes you have to manually call them or manually send them an email, say, hey, I got your form submission. Want to thank you for your interest, blah, blah, blah. The faster you can turn that around, the better your chances of closing that lead is. Okay. So send an immediate welcome email or response email to let them know that you know they were interested. Okay. Number two, it helps you better organize your leads in your business, automatically create contacts and tags for them. We talked about that. Create consistent follow-up process. So you're not, sometimes you get back to them, sometimes you don't. It should be consistent. It should be quick. You're going to get higher conversions. You're going to nurture your prospects with timely reminders, education, and next steps. So now they feel like they're vested and they're part of the process now. So they're not going to leave you. You're also going to save time. So from a business perspective, that's important. Time is money, and you want to make sure that you can communicate with all of your leads without consuming all of your time. All right. And then finally, it gives a perspective of professionalism. You get a professional experience from an automation like that, and you're going to create a polished customer journey with clear and consistent communication. Now, let's talk about from a ministry perspective. Number one, you're going to get better connection. You're going to follow up with your visitors. If you're a pastor and someone fills out a visitor form on your website, you're going to follow up with that visitor, and they're going to go into a nurturing workflow, and they're going to feel like they're already part of the family because you're communicating with them regularly. You're going to get better connection from class registrants and prayer requests. You're going to reply to that right away. Timely care, you're going to send immediate confirmations, encouragement, important next steps. Nothing falls through the cracks. I was a pastor for 30 years, and it's easy to let people fall through the tracks or cracks, and you don't want that. So you want to track people clearly with contact records and tags. Stronger engagement, you're going to use follow-up emails for your events, and that's going to create stronger engagement. You're going to use them for Bible studies if you want to encourage people to sign up for your Bible studies, devotionals, and discipleship. So we have almost 200 people that receive daily emails from me every single day. They receive emails. I've been doing this for about 2 years, and we have about almost 200 people that receive a daily devotional from me. Now, I'm not sending 200 emails every single morning. It's all done automatically. I've built it now to where when someone signs up, it automatically sends them a thank you for your interest. I'm excited to go on this journey with you, etc. And they get those every single time. I use those for devotionals, discipleship, etc. That's going to give you more time for ministry. The less time you have to do all this admin work, the more time you have to do actual ministry and caring for the people. Or let me just break it down. Sometimes you need to spend more time with your family, right? So you can't be doing this all day, all night, and you have no time for your family, your kids, your grandkids. You got to make time for that. So where can we create efficiency so that we can do what's most important? All right. And finally, faithful stewardship. Serve people with consistency, excellency, and intentional communication. All right. They know you care when they hear from you, when they see from you. Okay. So I wanted to just show you that. Let me show you this as well. Um, this is the workflow. We're going to get into this right now. Form submitted, collect the name, email, phone request, contact created. We're going to get their contact information, or we're going to update their contact information. Tags added like new lead, class interest, prayer request, needs follow up. You're going to send the welcome email, and you're going to do follow ups. And why does this matter? It helps you respond quickly, stay organized, and build relationship with consistency. All right. So that's what we're learning today. Now let's go through it. Okay, let's go through it. Don't worry if you get a little. You don't have to write all this down. I'm going to give you this. All of these documents you're going to receive on your own, and you can walk through this. Okay. But I'll have a time for Q&A right after this. But let's go ahead and break this down. So now I'm going to show you how to actually build this out. And let me change screens now. So, what I'm going to show you is on the platform that I actually created, and it's the Kingdom Influence Group platform. And you should see it looks just like this when you log in for the first time. Okay. This is basically a CRM that I've built that is, it is specifically uh, designed for kingdom business and kingdom ministry. All right. Now, when I say kingdom business, it could be any business. Well, I shouldn't say any business, but it could be just about any business where you're using kingdom principles to build your business. You're trusting God. And that's what I mean by kingdom business. You're using kingdom principles to build your business. And this platform is going to help support that. It's going to help support that. Okay. So you have to sign into your account. If you don't have an account, you just contact me. We'll create an account for you. But I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. And once you sign in, oh, you do have to, I got to get that code. Let me get that code because it's a two-step verification. I forgot about that. And today's code is 991825. Okay. So we do have a secure platform here. You're going to see something like this. This is the Kingdom Influence platform. I'm going to use my ministry platform that I've used, and you would see just your platform. Okay, just your platform. And this is what it would look like. Let me open this up. So you've got your menu on the left, et cetera. There's all kinds of things you can do here. We're not going to dive into that. If you want to check it out, just let me know. I'll build one for you. You can check it out before you commit to using it for your ministry. But we have several ministries that are using this for their CRM, their follow-ups, etc. So today we're going to be in a few different areas. And remember, we're building out this workflow, and step one was the form, right? So we have to create a form. So when you're in your platform right here, just like this, you're going to go all the way down to, you're going to go to marketing. When you go to marketing, or I'm sorry, not marketing, sites. When you go to sites, you're going to see this screen. This is to create your funnels, create your websites. You might say, "What's a funnel?" I'm not going to get into that today. It's kind of like a website, but specifically designed for nurturing a sale or a registration or something like that. I use funnels for my books, etc. Um, this is where you'll build your websites, your e-commerce stores, set up webinars, etc., your blogs. If you already have a site on WordPress, you can integrate that into here as well. But today we're talking about automating your emails and workflows. So we got to build a form. So we're going to go over here to form. We're going to go to builder. Once you click this, you're going to see all the different forms. Now, when you use the Kingdom Influence platform, you will already have some form templates that you can choose from. You don't have to use them. You can build your own, or you can use one of the templates and you can modify it, right? So here's the Daily Devo sign up. If I click on this, you're going to see the form that I created that people fill out when they want those daily devotionals, right? I just told you about that. So if they want the daily devotional, they would fill out this form. You say, well, how do you get to that form? I'm going to show you that. But this is just the form. Now, this will already be included in your platform, and you can change the image on top. You can change everything about it if you want to. But this is just one of the templates. But today I want to start from scratch so we can show you exactly how to create it. You go to this button right here that says create form. You click that button. You can start from scratch, and it's just a drag and drop, build your own, or you can choose from over 1,000 other templates that are built into the system. We're going to build it from scratch today, and we're going to click create. Once we click create, it's going to open up this builder. Now, it by default, it's just going to name it whatever the next one is. I'm going to change this to uh, register class, registration, form, demo. Okay, that's the name of this form. And it's going to by default give you the basics, the first name, last name, phone, and email. It also has these default messages for compliance reasons. Now, you don't always have to use those if you don't want to, especially if it's going to people that you know, it's going to your class that's already part of your daily communications or weekly communications, etc. You can leave it if you want. They would have to check that in order to click submit because these are required. But I'm going to delete these today. You can change the message. I'm going to delete this today. So now we have a very, very simple form. So it's got your name. This was already there. You don't have to change anything. Privacy and terms, we can delete that. Or if you have a privacy policy or a set of terms that you want to add, those are just links. You would just link that to your privacy and terms. You don't have to worry about that necessarily. So now this is the basics of the basics. It's just a form. And if I click preview, you're going to see what that form looks like from a web view. And or my oh my gosh, it just shut down my Chrome. Um, I accidentally shut down my Chrome. So let me go back here, make sure I'm sharing this particular screen with you. All right, here we go again. So we've got this form. You can preview it here and you can integrate it here. Integration is where you decide how you're going to share it. So you can share it via Facebook or WhatsApp or LinkedIn or X, or you can just copy this link and share that link with anybody you want. All right. You can just share that with anybody you want. You can also embed it into your existing website. So if some of you already have a website, you can embed it into your existing website by just putting that embed code into your website. So it doesn't show you the web code here, but if you just copy this embed code, it's going to copy the embed code. You go into your website, open up a little section where it's going to accept the HTML embed code. You put it in there, and your form's going to be on your website. Okay. You also have some options like activation options, deactivation options, trigger types, etc. You can embed layout type. Do you want it to be on the left, the right? Do you want it to be a pop-up? So instead of being actually in the website, it just pops up on your website or inline. So you have all those options. You can also create an email and send it that way. Okay, so these are the different ways you can send the form, and we're actually going to do that in just a minute. But let's build something out. Like, let's say you want something on the top of the form, like an image. So you would scroll on the left, you have all of these different elements for your form. So we're going to take an image and we're just going to drag it to the top of the form. And you'll notice that didn't make it to the top. So I want it to be on the top. I'm just going to pick it up and drag it. Now it's at the top. Upload your image. So I'm going to upload my image. And let's just say I want this image here on the top of my form. I just double click it and it goes there. Now this is going to be at the top of your form. You can also change other settings by clicking this styles and options link right here. Click on that, and it's going to open up your styles. You can do a single column, you could do a two column, you could do a single line, So right now you'll see that the fields are now two column instead of single column. It used to look like this. So now it's first name, last name, phone. Maybe that looks too long and bigger than it needs to be. So you just decide, well, let's just do two column because everybody can fit their first name there, their last name there, their phone number, and their email. So maybe you like that smaller, condensed look. You can do that. You can change the width of every single field. So we can take that field and say, I only want that to be 400 pixels. And now it's smaller, right? So you can change the sizes of everything. You could do that. You could change the padding, which is the margin in between all of those elements. You can change the style. Instead of a box, maybe you just want a line. And now it looks like that. Instead of the box, it's just type on this line. So you can change all of these things in your form, creating these forms. You also have themes to choose from. So maybe you want this type of theme or this type of theme. If I chose one of those, it would automatically redo all of this form to make that theme. So let's just say we want this metropolitan type of theme. I'm going to say use this theme. Are you sure? I'm going to say proceed. And now you've got that theme where you've got the city in the background. It changed it to a black. It changed it to the line. Can you still change that? Absolutely. I go in here and I'm going to go to styles and I'm going to change it from line to box. So now I have the box. So I'm just showing you all the different things that you can do in order to customize your form. I'm going to go to default theme again, and just go back to the simplicity. And I'm just going to click save so nothing happens. So that's the form. Now we've created a form. You can add different elements. What else do you want? If you want more than first name, last name, phone, and email, you hit this plus button on the left. And let's say we might want their address because you're mailing something to them. So you would literally just go to the elements. There's maybe you want their date of birth, or but we want their address. So we're just gonna click address. We're gonna drag it over here, and we're gonna drop it right onto our form. And there you go. Now you'll notice I got it above email. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want email after phone number. I just take it, I drag it under phone number. And now you've done that and you have their address. So now this is all part of the form. One thing I want to remind you is that you have to define whether it's a required field. So email is required because there's nothing you can do with them if you don't have their email. So we make that required, and that's this checkbox right over here on the right. Okay. Again, this is these are the settings, right? So if you don't see it, you can just click on this little settings icon, and it'll open it up. And then you scroll down and you've got required. Okay. Again, you have the field of width or the field width, etc. You can change the size of it. But we're making that required. I also want to require their first name. So I'm going to click required. Now you'll see there's an asterisk, which means they can't go further without clicking that. Last name required. Address, we're just going to say everything's required. I'm not going to make that one required because we're going to do a test and I want you to be able to test that. You don't have to send me all of that. And then submit. Now, when you click on the submit button, you can change that. Say, um, I want in the class. Okay, so instead of submit, maybe you do something cool like I want in the class. So you can change what's on there, etc. That's the button. You can also change the alignment, the colors, the borders, the padding, and even create a shadow. So if you want a shadow, I'm going to do the black shadow, and you're going to see if I just make it obvious. You can change the blur on this shadow, and now that button has a shadow on it. So you can do all of that stuff with the buttons. Okay. So that's how you create the form. Now we've got our first form. Great. What do we do with it? Well, let's save it and we're going to integrate it and we're going to share it with others. But before we share it, we got to make our workflow. So what happens after someone completes this form? Now we have the form. And by the way, if I just go to integrate just to show you, when you share, you click on this link. If I go to another tab and I um, open that tab, now you can see what that form looks like just on a web page, right? You share that link, this is what's going to open on their browser. So it's that simple, okay? So you just get that's the link and you share that link. So let's build out now the workflow. So when they go into this, we we do something with it. So we're going to go back. We're going to now go to automations. And you can see here's our form is now in the list of forms that we have, and it'll be yours forever. You can use it as many times as you want, wherever you want. So you got that form now forever. And we're going to now go to automation. Click on automation. Same type of list, right? I have all of these different automations. So you can see in the automation class, I had 12 people enrolled in this class today. Now we don't have 12 people here, but 12 people enrolled. Those 12 people got all the emails that you guys got, okay? All automated because I built out this automation. I'm going to show you one from scratch. So we're going to create workflow. We're going to start from scratch. Now you can build it using AI. Just tell AI what you want it to do. I want them to fill out this form. I want to send them a welcome email. I want to wait 2 days. I want to send them a follow-up email, and it'll build it for you. You can also select from a variety of templates. There's a ton of them in there for you to choose from, or you can import it from another campaign, et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to start from scratch. I'm going to show you how to build it out. So starting from scratch, this is where you're building it out. It defaults. This automation AI thing is on the top, but we're not going to use that. Again, you can just fill this out, tell it what you want, and it'll build it for you. But I'm going to show you how to build it yourself. So let's add a new trigger. Remember, your workflow starts with a trigger, and our trigger is going to be that form. So we're going to add new trigger. Now you have plenty of triggers to choose from. Maybe when you tag somebody automation, it's going to enter them into this. Okay, there's tons of triggers that you can choose from. Maybe they filled out another form, or they visited your Facebook page, or they sent you a Facebook message, or whatever. There's tons of triggers that you can do. Like if you have their birthday, you can do birthday reminders so that when their birthday hits, they go into a workflow that sends them a birthday greeting, et cetera, et cetera. You can automate all of that. You never forget a birthday again, right? So, what is our trigger going to be? It's going to be form submitted. So we click on form submitted. Now we've got that as the trigger. And let me just blow this up because I don't know if you guys can see everything that I'm wanting you guys to see. I don't know why my I don't know why it's limited here. There we go. Okay, so form submitted. I think that's better for you guys to see all that. Yeah, form submitted. And you can name it. So sometimes it's best to name it like demo form submitted. So that way, when I look at the workflow, I can identify exactly what's going on. So the demo form was submitted. How does it know that? You have to add a filter. The filter, select it from your dropdown. We're going to use form is. So we're going to click form is, and then it's going to list all of your forms. I'm going to say form is class registration form demo. And there we go. So that is the form. And I'm going to save the trigger. Now that is your trigger. Once someone fills out that demo form, it starts the trigger. What's the first thing we want to happen? Well, we're going to add a next step by clicking this plus button. Now, what's the next thing that happens? I would like to add contact tag. That contact tag, if you click on tags, these are all my different tags. Okay. I'm going to create a new one that said attended automation class. That's the new tag. Now it's not already in existence, so I'm going to click add new tag. And now that one exists in my CRM, attended automation class. So that's going to be the tag. I'm going to save that action. So step one, they fill out the form. The next thing that happens is that contact gets this tag. What tag? I didn't name it. Add attended automation class tag. Okay. Now I remember what tag. Okay. So that's what it's going to do. That's the tag. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit plus, and I want to immediately send them an email. So I'm going to send email. And you have a couple of options here. We can choose from an email template that we already created, which is what I usually do, or we can build out the email right here. So the email is the action email welcome message. I'm going to put my name, Dr. Kevin Truitt. From email, I'm going to put my email, um, kingdominfluencegroup.com. You can also add a CC or a BCC. The subject is thank you for attending the automation class. Pre-header, I'm not going to do anything there. Quick compose is what we're going to do today. You can also go to Start Builder, which is going to be a drag and drop, very, very, uh, you can do all kinds of stuff with the Smart Builder. You can build it from there, or you can select an existing template. So if you select existing template, all your templates are going to come down. These are all my other templates from prior email campaigns. I'm going to not choose that. I'm going to quick compose. And the quick compose is right here. So I'm going to say, hi, I'm going to use their first name. So in order to use their first name, you need to put in an actual um where is it? Custom values right there. Contact first name. Now, what's going to happen is when somebody opens that, if Scholar Smith is opening it, it's going to have his first name. If Scholar Frank is opening it, it's going to have his first name. So that's going to make it more personal. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to say thank you. Jeez. Thank you for joining me today. That's it. And I'm going to sign it. Sincerely, Dr. Truitt. That's it. You can also track clicks. So if you have any links or if you have a button, you can track whether they click that link or not. But we're just going to keep it simple for this task, save action. And now there is an email already composed, ready to go. As soon as they click this form, they're going to get tagged. They're going to get that email all instantly. Now we're going to do the follow up. If you remember the follow up. So the follow up, I'm going to hit add. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And here's where you have some options. We're going to wait. Let's wait 1 minute just for the sake of this demo. I'm going to wait 1 minute. So we're going to set a period of time and we're going to go one. Oh, that's point one. We're going to go 1 minute. You could also do 1 day, or you could do 1 hour, or you could do 1 second, but we're going to do 1 minute. And then we're going to save action. So now we have welcome messages already sent. We're going to wait 1 minute and we're going to send the next email. Next email is um, confirmation of wait time. This is just for the demo from, again, myself, from Kevin at kingdominfluencegroup.com. This showed up 1 minute later. That's in, and then quick compose. Hi, I'm going to do contact's first name again. Um, and then I'm going to say, this showed up 1 minute later. Did it not? Thanks, Dr. Truitt. This is just an email. Again, you can make the email as beautiful as you want with images, all that stuff. This is just for the demo. We're going to save action. So we waited 1 minute. We got the confirmation wait time. And now we're just going to end it. Okay. You can do if else. So if they opened it, if they didn't open it, we do all that. But just for the sake of this demo, we're going to show you how to do this right now. And that's it. We're going to test the workflow. I'm going to select contacts. I don't know what that is, but let me go with myself so I can test. And I have my own email testing name. So I'm going to send it to Kevin Test at CLC Salem. I'm going to say run test. Now it's going through the whole thing to make sure that everything works. And I'm going to get an email if it all works, which I just got the email. I don't, you guys can't see that, but I just got the email. It says, "Hey, Kevin Tess, thank you for joining me today. In 1 minute, I'm going to get the confirmation of wait email." All right. So now we've tested it, and I'm going to name this workflow also, by the way. This is automation class demo. And so we're just going to assume that we tested all of this and now we publish. And I hit save after we publish. All right, you guys. Now we've created the form, we've created the workflow, we've created the emails, and now we're going to put it to the test, right? So I have to go back to my form, and that is in the sites again, sites, forms. I'm going to go to builder, class registration. I'm going to go to these three dots, and I'm going to say share. Location. Oh, that's not the right kind of share. Um, what did I do there? Huh. Maybe I do have to open it. Okay, so I'm going to open it and I'm going to integrate and I'm going to share. I'm going to get this link and now I'm going to send it to you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you how I do this, part of the demo. I'm going to go back to my marketing. This is where I'm going to create emails. So now I'm going to create emails. There's campaigns and templates. I'm going to create campaign, start from blank, design editor, and now we're going to build out an email. So I'm going to go start with an image. I'm going to go and open up an image here, upload from my media library or create image using AI. I'm going to open from my media library. I'm going to go back to that same one. I'm going to click on that. Now that's there. View email in browser. We'll leave that. I'm going to say, hey, contact first name. Try this form to see if it works. And I'm going to paste that form link right there. Thanks, Dr. Truitt. This is not how I write emails, but for the sake of this demo and time, there you go. Now I'm going to send this email off. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit send. This is all from your platform, by the way. You can send now. You can schedule it to send in 5 minutes, 5 days, whatever you want. You can batch schedule a bunch of emails, all kinds of options. I'm going to go ahead and put my name in here so you know who that came from. I'm going to put my name at Kingdom Connection, kingdominfluencegroup.com. Subject line is test form or class. And I'm going to choose the contacts. Now I can go one by one and go through all of my contacts, and I have over 1,000 of them. So we're not going to do that. I can send to a smart list that I've already created. Um, and I can choose contacts, which I'm going to choose contacts by tags. So if I go automation class, you'll see there's 11 contacts in my automation class. Or I can do smart list, which I also have an automation class smart list, also the 11. Okay. So that's who it's going to send it to. Everybody who has the tag automation class is now going to get this email. What email? This one that we just did. And now I'm going to discover who clicked the link, and I'm going to hit send, or I can hit save and send it come back to it later, but we're going to send it right now for the sake of this demo. Once I send it, y'all should get an email from me. Tell me if you do. Let me see. Help me out if you got that email. Let me indicate that you got it, but I can't even see y'all. Let's see. Show meeting. There we go. All right. Anybody get it? That email already? You can just indicate that you got that email already.
Not
I,
yet.
I got it. Scholar Jesse, you didn't get it yet?
No, I didn't get it yet.
Nobody's got it yet except for me. So when that happens, I'm going
Okay,
to.
just got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay,
Yep,
perfect.
just
So
got it.
maybe, it could be my internet, it could be your internet, it could be the World Wide Web. I don't know. Took a little time. Uh, Anybody else got
I
it?
got it. I
Oh,
got it.
okay, great, great. Okay, so that means it's working. Now, I want to know who got it without asking everybody because we're not always on a Zoom. So I'm going to go to this campaign that we just sent, untitled campaign name. I forgot to title it. I'm going to click these three buttons right here, and I'm going to go to statistics. It shows that it sent 11 emails. It processed all 11. 10 of them were accepted. One was skipped. I don't know which one was skipped. We'll look. 33% of you opened it. 0% clicked the actual link for the form so far, but 90% were delivered. Now I can actually take it a step further and see. So it was delivered to Scholar Bird. It was delivered to Scholar Wilson. It was delivered. Oh, these are all people that actually registered, but they're not with us today. I messed that up. Scholar Maria Truitt opened the email. Scholar Smith opened the email. Cameron Truitt opened the email. Scholar Franklin has not opened the email yet. So you could see all of this. Now I want to know who clicked on the link. I click on clicked, and it shows me that Cameron actually clicked the link. So he's already seen the form. The link opens up the form, and Scholar Smith opened up the form. Cameron or Scholar Smith, can you confirm that?
Yes, I'm looking at the form now.
You're
Looks
looking
great.
at the form. All right, perfect.
Yep.
So now we know it works. And now, if you go ahead and fill out that form, it should take you through that workflow we just created. And this is how you create that automation, y'all. This was the most simple automation that I could possibly share with you today. If you can imagine all the steps that we went through, which was only 4 or 5 steps, but adding multiples. Like 3 days from now, I want to send them a thank you email again. 3 days from then, I want to send them, hey, I'm praying for all of you today. 3 days from then, I want to send them a devotional. 3 days from them, I want to do this, this, this. 6 months from now, I want to say, hey, I haven't chatted with you in a while. Just thinking about you. How you doing today? Now, obviously, we're not trying to lie to them. So this workflow should be part of who you really are, right? So are you thinking about them in 6 months? Put it on your calendar and make sure that you're doing what you're saying you're doing, okay? But this is how we create those automatic workflows. All right. So we went through the form building, how to build it. We went through how to share it. We went through the workflow, how to build it, and how to automate your emails, your wait times, your tags. So if I show you now, um, Scholar Jesse, I don't know, Scholar Jesse or Cameron, did you fill out the form already?
I'm filling out the form now.
Okay, go ahead. Let's just finish that up and
Is if I don't put in the address, is that required?
it's not
Or is
required.
it
So remember, I intentionally left that unchecked because
just as soon as
just for the sake of time.
right.
So once
I
you,
filled I filled it out and submitted
oh, okay. So if
Okay.
I go to Maria as a contact in my CRM, and I click on her name, well, I don't want to click on her name because I'm not trying to show everybody all of her information. But you can see when I click on this, these are the tags, and you can see she is now tagged attended automation class. Only the people who fill out that form will have that tag. And now, if I want to filter on people that I want to find out, okay, who attended, I'm going to go to advanced filters. I'm going to go to tag in my contact list. I'm going to say tag is attended automation class. And I hit apply. And I'm going to remove Maria's name. And there we go. So Scholar Smith has filled out the form. I know that because he's now tagged attended class. Maria filled out the form. She's now tagged attended class. And I filled out the form. Well, I already did that myself. So I have it myself tagged. Cameron, I know, here's the information I know. Cameron received the email because it showed me that. He opened the email because it showed me that. He clicked on the link because it showed me that, but he's not submitted the form. Otherwise, he would be tagged with that tag. So there we go. Now we know. Son, I don't know if you're in a place to confirm all of that, but that's what I know from my CRM.
Quick question.
Yes.
On where I am, it says V Jesse Smith. My church is there. I didn't just put that in the address though. So where did that come from? Was that
Because
you had one earlier?
you're already a contact of mine, Scholar
Okay.
Smith. So
Okay.
it was already in there.
Gotcha.
So if somebody is already a contact, it's going to update their contact with the new information that you add.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's how that was already there. Okay. So that is the full tutorial, if you can call it that, on how I automate emails, how I automate workflows, how to build it out, etc. What questions do you have? I'll take any questions that you might have. All right, you all. If you don't have any more questions, I want to thank you for your interest. It's just a privilege and pleasure for me to share my resources with you, my tools that I use with you. And if you have any questions about it, just hit me up and we'll help you out. Okay.